Podcasting from somewhere in the San Francisco Bay Area, the birthplace of Bruce Lee, the iPhone, and the bendy straw. This is Ruel's Running Podcast, a podcast about running, health, family, play, and an NSNG lifestyle. And now, here's your host, Ruel.
There was a dream a million miles away. There was fire in
Amazon.com. You know, I won't be surprised if more and more stuff that I shop for, buy, and get shipped to my home comes from Amazon. It's just a reality, right? And if this is your reality, go to ruelsrunning.com, click through to the Amazon banner to get to Amazon. Why am I asking you to do so? Well, it is a no-cost-to-you way. If you like listening to Ruel's Running Podcast, it is a way that you can help the show out without spending more than you've already spent while shopping at the good folks at Amazon.com. So help us out. Go to ruelsrunning.com, click through to the Amazon.com site, and shop, connect, and enjoy. Hey everybody, it's me. I'm currently in between interviews with folks for the podcast, and had rescheduled one of them. So I'm sort of like, now I'm looking around to see if I can get somebody else on Skype to podcast, and so far not having any luck. Everyone's kind of if they are available, they're not available to chat, but via call, but they are able to chat via chat. So I'm going to have a little fun. Let's see. Right now I have our good friend Mark Thompson from Auckland, New Zealand on a Skype chat. And let's try this out for size. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask him how his summer's been going. And that should be interesting, right? The response we get back would be a little bit delayed compared to if I were talking to him over the line. And depends on how busy he is on his end. I know he's a busy guy. He's keeping that side of the world in order. In the meantime, let's do it this way. Sorry for the poor introduction, folks. It's Ruel. Welcome to Ruel's Running Podcast. I am your host. And if you are a return listener, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Your time, your listenership, if you will, your fellowship, and you create comfort in my world, and I really, really appreciate it. If you are a new listener, don't be so quick to tap away, swipe away, click off, because there may be something here that you'll appreciate. Maybe. It's been a week since I recorded the last podcast, and in between I've been doing a whole lot. I've been scheduling folks for the podcast, and was supposed to have one earlier today, but that rescheduled, which is not a problem. But I am excited to talk to that guest. I do have a couple more lined up today. If I'm lucky, 3. If I can sneak in another, that'll be awesome. But that's that, and that's for later on. And for now, how about we have a little fun? Oh, by the way, so I asked Mark Thompson how his summer's been going, and he says it's been amazing. And what did he say? Ticked some great boxes. Winter here at the moment is warmer than normal, but long wet periods. Yuck. Do you guys understand what he meant by great boxes? Let me ask him. What are great boxes? What does that mean, basically? And as a side note, by the way, I am doing a chat for the podcast. This is gonna be awesome. Basically, reading his responses. I'll be reading his responses. How about that? Let's go with that. I think that'll be fun. He's probably thinking, what an idiot. Idiot. How do you say idiot? New Zealand, Mark. He goes, that works. So yeah, it'll be neat. Very, very interesting. Anyways, Mark has been doing successful trips with the family and bikes. So successful trips with the family and bikes as on the things to do for the summer. Apparently, it's something that he checks off. That's my impersonation of Mark impersonating checking things off his list. He did a successful overnight kayak trip with his boy, or he's wrote with my lad. Check. Huh? Nice. I saw pics on Facebook. Ooh, he went snorkeling with his daughter on her birthday and used a kayak. Check. Wow. Man, he's living in paradise. I would do the same. Generally more riding with the family. So that's talking about bike rides. Check. Awesome. Nicely done, Mark. Yeah. So anyways, folks, while Mark continues to chime in on the Skype, yeah, I can't remember where I left off, but I've been, a whole year, half of the year has gone by, and I finally got things in order where I can start trying to schedule podcast interviews, and so I'm doing that, and I kind of forgotten how much fun it is to kind of go through the motions of scheduling and preparing and whatnot, but it's pretty cool. Let's see. Mark says, I decided it was the summer of 100 barbecues. Not sure how many, but more than 50 so far, I guess. That is a serious challenge. Holy moly. Well, wait. Not sure how many, but more than 50. Okay. So he's... Holy moly, Mark. That's awesome. Snorkeling, kayaking, riding the bike, and doing a massive amount of levels of barbecuing. That sounds like paradise to me. If you guys don't know Mark Thompson, then you need to check out the previous episodes with Mark. Mark's an awesome guy. Got several episodes in the bank for Ruel's Running Podcast. We talk about numerous things, from running to adventure racing to bike equipment to making coffee. Living an NSNG lifestyle, the no sugar, no grains lifestyle. We met through the Vinny Tortorich No Sugar, No Grains Facebook group. We follow that movement, way of living, I guess, if you will. Mark's a great guy. I wouldn't have known him had it not been for that community over with NSNG. Vinny Tortorich and Anna Vocino and their podcast, The Celebrity Fitness Trainer. Yeah. He has goals to have 100 barbecues, learn some new skills like doing different meats. Ooh. Let's see, what kinds of meat? Anyways, so while he's doing that, I want to talk about something I saw kind of recently, and I'm late to the game. I want to talk about movies real quick. And you guys are going to hear the title, and you're going to be like, gee, where have you been? Well, the fact of the matter is I've been busy with the family and work and the podcast, and even if I wasn't busy with a half of those things, with kids ranging from 2 to 7, it's not so easy for me to just switch on movies that aren't appropriate for children that young, which is crazy because as a parent, I'm kind of sensitive to that, right? What kind of things are my kids going to see, and what kind of things are they going to hear, and I remember when I was as young as them and being exposed to a bunch of stuff that I wouldn't dare having my kids get exposed to, but I think I turned out okay. I think, but yeah, I just don't want my kids to get any inappropriate influence, I guess, at this time. Just let them be good. Then when they get old enough to decide for themselves that they want to be inappropriate in some way, shape, or fashion, at least they'll be older and old enough to make those decisions themselves. Kids from 2 to 5 and 7, still kind of soon. But the movie is Terminator Genesis. So it was as I watched it, I thought, it's sort of a remake of the original Terminator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it wasn't. If you, I don't want to. For folks who haven't seen it and think you might see it, I don't want to spoil it, even though it's been around for over a year. But yeah, it's neat how the creativity involved with taking something that's been sort of an iconic movie like The Terminator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then somehow creating something around that and making it what it ended up being. And Arnold's in the movie as well, and how that works into it. I think it was pretty brilliant. I'm not a big movie critic, and I'm easy to please with movies. I mean, the last time I talked about a movie was Cliffy, and it was based on a true story about an ultra runner potato farmer who made his way from Melbourne to Sydney or the other way around, and winning an ultra marathon event. So I'm all across the board as far as what types of movies I'm interested in. The Terminator, martial arts movies, documentaries, romantic comedies. I'm really easy to please. As long as it's entertaining to some degree, I'm not going to be who am I to criticize, right? I kind of can't stand movie critics. Anyways, yeah, I thought it was cool. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. Tell me what you think. What else did Mark say? He said when I asked him what kind of meats he wants to get into, he's thinking of different cuts of beef and lamb. So doing roast-sized bits using smoker-type methods, etc. Need to get a hood for the barbecue. He needs to get a hood in the hood. Nice. I'm going to ask him, any exotic, any type of meats I'd consider exotic over there, like I don't know, kangaroo. This is my generalization of that region. Kangaroo, koala, giant, giant orcs, and what were those things from Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit? Orcs and goblins. So So, yeah, any types of meats I'd consider exotic over there, like kangaroo, koala, giant orcs, and goblins. And he said, before that, he said he would experiment with some dry rubs, all NSNG style. What he means to say is no sugar, no grains. Oh, yes. This is a mishmash of stuff. So, yeah, that was my movie thing. Movie thing. Yeah, you know, I talked about martial arts movies and action movies and stuff, and, you know, to some point or degree, I've had to consciously tell myself to not watch certain genres of action movies and things like that, only because the only time I get a good amount of time to watch anything through is in the evening when everyone's in bed. But, you know, I don't want to get all kind of wound up, excited, especially with action movies, and we're to a point where I just wouldn't be able to sleep, so I lose out. But on the other end, I kind of feel like when I watch like a good martial arts movie or action movie, and it does kind of get me amped, I kind of think that you know, that kind of helps me from a testosterone standpoint, you know, that it's healthy, that I should get a rush every now and then, and you know, and that by consciously not getting into these types of movies, I feel like I might be doing myself a disservice. Because I remember when I started, when I was into martial arts, I used to just get so into the movies and the fight footage and but a bunch of other things that I could get into on tape or on television or in movies. And sometimes I'd watch it just leading up to a training day, just to sort of like get myself amped and ready. And that was sort of my routine, and it was my way of constantly being kind of amped and on the edge. And if I wasn't training, then I was just watching it and, you know, getting that inspiration. I can't help but think that, you know, from a testosterone standpoint, you know, I was like really like raging inside, you know. But all has changed with kids, and I wonder if I'd be better off bringing some of that into my life, so that not so I can rage around my kids, but to, like, I don't know, maybe you hear stories about people being low on testosterone. Like, maybe I can't prove it. I don't know if there's any studies on it, but maybe one way is to sort of, you know, watch something that'll get you fired up. Maybe that'll do it. I don't know. I mean, makes sense to me. Anyways, let's see. Where are you, Mark? He says, Goblin is really chewy and not that great. We can get roux over here, but probably the more exotic ones we have are venison, deer, or a good chevron, goat, both of which taste amazing. Apparently, a possum isn't bad, but not a meat many would pursue. Wow. Cool. I'm gonna let them know. That's cool. Let me know how it goes, how they turn out, and please share. And in upper caps, pics in in caps. Boom.
Coming up, Rue gives us something else to think about. How vague is that, Ruel? Geez. Could you be any vaguer, Ruel? Well, it's all coming up on Ruel's Running.
Hi, this is Vinny Todorich from the Celebrity Fitness Trainer podcast, and Ruel asked me to come on and tell you guys all about my new product at purevitaminclub.com. We now have Pure Magnesium, It is a broad spectrum magnesium. Now, I know what you're saying to yourself. What does broad spectrum mean? Well, look, if you go in the grocery store, you can buy the cheap stuff. It usually only has carbonate or citrate, usually one of the two, because those are the cheaper forms of it. But you know what? Those forms are good, especially when you add carbonate and glycinate and taurate. Oh, did I say that wrong? No, I didn't. And then citrate. You add those four together, and you have a broad-spectrum magnesium. It's a more well-rounded magnesium. And guess what? We put nothing else in it, folks. That's it. That's it. No byproducts, no fillers, no sand, no nothing. Just what you want. PureVitaminClub.com. Go check out the broad-spectrum magnesium. I think you will love it. Once again, I'm Vinny Tortorich, and check us out.
Thank you, Vinny. Friends, you can get your supply of Pure Vitamin Club's daily multicap or broad spectrum magnesium. Go to ruelsrunning.com/vitamins. I'll link to it on the show notes and get your supply today. Yeah. Let's see. What else do I want to talk about? You know what I did between now and last week? I started vlogging. You guys know what vlogging is? It's basically like blogging, but rather than typing stuff out on a blog, these are all videos, and I don't, they're like videos ranging from 5 to 20 minutes long. They vary. So I've been doing those pretty regularly, almost every day for the past several days. I don't know, 4 days, 5 days, or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, or maybe it's been a week. Some days I'm actually prepping 2 videos in the same day, depending on what I find interesting or think can make some sort of decent video. But I haven't posted them on the ruelsrunning.com site yet. But they are on YouTube, and you can get to them to check them out at go to youtube.com/ruelsrunning, or if you go to ruelsrunning.com, at the top of the screen there's a whole bunch of links for social stuff. Just click on the YouTube icon there and it'll take you there. So yeah, been having fun putting those out, and I'm trying to get better at them. So when you start with vlog number 1, you see it's like, okay, I don't know. This is just my impression. And the next vlog comes out, it's a certain way, and then little by little I'm starting to make tweaks and little enhancements and intros and outros and some music and some text. I mean, it's not nothing complicated, but sort of complicated, because I've been taking most of these things on these are just videos off the iPhone, and I'm using an app to put them all together. And what I'm finding is that I'm so anxious to get footage of stuff that it's taking up so much space off of my phone that I've had to literally delete everything I can possibly delete off of my phone, from pictures and videos to apps. So I've kind of got a limit with these things, which is a good thing, because as I produce them, they take up more space, and then I've got to upload them somewhere. So it's also teaching me that if I want to put another vlog out, I'm going to have to be a bit more precise with how when I take my shots. So yeah, pretty neat. I did one video. It was just a demonstration of something as easy as making coffee using a press. So there was that. I did, several of the videos I kind of mash up sort of the start of my day leading towards the end of my day, and somewhere in the middle there's a run and some playtime with the kids at parks. Sometimes, especially on the weekend, I may throw in a little quick demo of me preparing something in the kitchen. So, been having a lot of fun, and hope you guys check it out, and let me know what you think. And if there's something that you want to see in a video that I can help with, let me know as well. Contact me on social or on the website via the contacts page. You can email me too, ruelsrunning@gmail.com. Awesome. Let's see, where did I leave Mark off at? Let's see. He says, that is one time you want smellograph. Okay. I don't know. I think smellograph. I think what he meant was, if you guys ever watch Emeril Lagasse on TV, he's that chef, that celebrity chef. Chef Emeril. He used to have a show on TV, and he may still do, but I don't have cable I haven't had cable for a long time that I haven't kept up. But he used to do this thing, this cooking show in front of a studio audience, and the camera would be filming everything, and then he would be talking to the audience through the camera, and he would basically say that we need some sort of technology called smell-o-vision or something, so that you can actually smell what he's cooking through your television. So I think that's what he meant. How are my news flash running shorts going, as he asked. News flash running shorts. You mean the blog? You mean the vlog? The videos? I'm just trying to get clarification. I'm not that great on communication, so I need clarification. That's just the way I operate. Let's see. Yeah, so, you know what? I want to talk about family real quick. You know what? Last weekend, the coolest thing happened, at least for me and my family. Our neighbor brought out their brand new telescope and set it up, and my wife, my oldest son, and I were able to see Jupiter and Saturn. So my son and I both saw Saturn and Jupiter and the moons around Jupiter, and my wife got a chance to see Saturn, and my son and I got to see Saturn as well that night. And it's amazing. If you haven't seen the planets via a telescope, I mean, it's mind-blowing. I took astronomy in college, and I learned to appreciate space, right? Beyond the sci-fi fantasy stuff. I mean, think about it. You have this piece of equipment facing up into the sky, and all you know is this concept or this idea that there's stuff out there. But then all your life, you know that if you look up in the sky when it's dark, you're going to see these little bright spots. You may see the moon, you may see clouds and things like that. But, you kind of take it for granted. There's the sky, Or you may spend so much time indoors that you don't even realize, whatever. You take it for granted. There's a sky out there, whatever. But here was my neighbor pointing this piece of equipment up into the sky, which was it's just the sky, whatever, right? He does all of it's got some digital stuff. It's not like your standard scope and lens. It's got computer capabilities, digital capabilities, and he's looking at stuff on his phone, and he's the only thing I can compare it to is when you have a photographer who has all of the studio equipment and a light meter, to test, lighting and whatnot. So he's got a big old he's got a telescope and his iPhone, and he's studying through stuff and fiddling with settings and looking through the scope, and then suddenly he's done. And he says, you can see Jupiter, and the little pinpricks you see around it are its moons. And so we know what Jupiter looks like based on what's printed on books from other images of the planets and whatnot. So we're like, okay, I've seen Jupiter in books many times. My kids have been into planets so much before that, okay, it's Jupiter. But then there's something about looking in that telescope that's pointing to just the vast darkness up in the sky, and looking through that scope and then seeing the planet and its moons. It's freaking amazing. Amazing. I mean, wow. Yeah, if you guys haven't tried it, I mean, it's impressive. I mean, and then later that evening, he knocked on our, he was right in front of our house. He lives right across from us, and my son and I went back in the house, and then he knocked on the door, and then he said that, he basically got Saturn lined up, and so my son and I went out again, and my wife this time, and we all got to see Saturn, and mind-blowing. But it's fun. I'm glad that my son got a chance to see it, because as an adult, it's who's never seen it before, yeah, it's amazing. Amazing. Yeah. So I guess I should get into a run update. I've gotten a few fun runs done since the last recording, and the weather's been great this summer here in Northern California. And I call them fun runs because I've also been taking videos along the way, and I've shared them on the vlog. And just sort of just happy. I'm just kind of, when I'm out, I'm happy. I get my coffee, I get out, I run, not too concerned about anything, just being out in the outdoors, and happy to not be in the office, because you can sit for so long. And I asked Mark if he was referring to my running flashes and running shorts where how things were going, and I wasn't sure what he meant, so I asked him what he meant, if he meant the videos, and he's like, which videos? And now he says to hang on because he has to reboot. Technology. So anyways, yes, I've been just running about every other day when I'm at the office, just midday, take an hour at least, and some days are shorter than others because, it depends on how occupied I get doing silly things like taking video of myself jumping up some object and falling on my butt, or, trying to make some sort of video, so I'll catch some footage so that'll, but I don't care, I'm not running a race, I'm not heading out like I used to and think, okay, this is my goal, I'm going to do this amount of distance, and my pace is going to be this much, and I want to get here before this amount of time, I want to beat my last best time. Yeah, I don't need to do that. So that's that. Awesome. What else do I want to get into? Recently went to a birthday party for a friend's little boy, and I guess friends of the family, and what do I want to say about this? He is what I know of the little boy, his name is I won't say, but he's a talented little boy, growing up very fast. He's an actor, and I remember when his mom, cause we would have them over for our parties, and we would also hire his mom to do some photography for the parties at our house. we've known her for many years because she used to do some part-time work at a children's sort of play center. That's how we got to know each other, and that's how we got to learn that she also did photography, and that's how we got to learn to hire her. But she has 3 boys, and her oldest is an actor, a young actor, and so we went to his birthday recently, and man, he's growing up so fast. But I've recently been able to connect with his mom on Facebook, and be able to get glimpses of things that I only knew of via conversation with her. And so things like, he's been on nationwide commercials for Samsung. He's been on, he's done, I don't know how many times he's been on, what is it? The Comedy Central show, KMP. He's, I remember seeing him on that Samsung commercial. I was like, wait a minute, is that who I think it is? And then the next time I saw the mom, I'm like, did he just do that cell phone commercial? I think I saw him. Pretty fun. He does modeling. So I mean, it's neat. I don't grow up around that type of stuff, and so I can only imagine the future, what his future has, it's going to bring, how much more cool stuff he's going to get into. Yeah. Now my kids, totally different. Yeah. But I think our future is going to be okay as a human race. We've got some pretty talented children that we're raising, smart children, and hopefully, we don't mess it up. Yeah. You know what? I wanted to talk about food real quick. I may have mentioned it on the vlog, because I'm kind of bouncing between the vlog and the podcast, and my mind has been running around all over the place. But I cooked a gluten-free stew recently, and it's made with butternut squash, and it's pretty awesome. It's basically, and actually, I did show this on the vlog on one of the episodes. If I remember, I'll link it here. But you just take the beef and I browned it in the slow cooker liner, and onions and seasoning and whatnot. Then I put broth in it, and garlic, and cubed butternut squash, and I slow cooked it. I think it's awesome. And usually when I make stuff, I make in the slow cooker, it isn't seasoned with salt and pepper to the extreme. It's sort of like mellow, so that you basically literally salt and pepper to taste. So I make the dish, and then as I consume it, portions at a time, then I'm adding pepper and salt. But yeah, I'll share that recipe. I'll share the video, and about to wrap up here, because in less than 10 minutes I gotta get on the phone with a good friend for the podcast, and you'll know who when the time comes. I'll try and reference this podcast when I have the conversation. Hopefully I won't get another reschedule, because I'm really looking forward to getting some good conversation to share on the podcast with everybody. Last thing I want to talk about is the iPhone. The iPhone and the Apple Watch, the activity app. So if you have, I guess, the latest iPhone, or even the Apple Watch, there's this thing called the activity app that tells you things like tracking your how much time you stand, or what else? Your how much time you're moving around, how many steps you've taken, things like that. And I turned it on recently. It's my wife picked up an Apple Watch a while back at a really good deal, but she didn't use it that much, so I was like, okay. She handed it over to me, and I'm using it more often. I'm able to sync to my phone and now get more ways to be reminded that I have appointments and things to do. What I do like about it is the heart rate monitor capabilities on it. That's pretty nifty, pretty cool. And what's pretty cool is, I'm kind of going off on a tangent, what's pretty cool is you can use the Apple Watch to turn on the camera on your phone. So I could, like, at a certain amount of distance away from myself, wherever my phone is, if I can switch on the camera remotely. So I can sort of do a periscope type deal where I'll look around the corner. I'll face my phone around the corner, a blind corner. I'll turn on the camera using my watch, and I could see what the camera's looking at through my watch. Ooh, futuristic. Anyways, what was I getting at? So this activity app, I think, needs some work, and maybe it will be getting some work, because I was spending over an hour in the kitchen the other day. I was cooking, and then the Apple Watch activity app tells me it's time to stand up. I'm like, you think I'm laying down as I cook? So, kind of funny. So all of these results that this app has been tracking, it's just baloney. So that's all I got. I guess I want to say thanks for tuning in. This is a quick episode. I do want to remind folks that there are many more episodes on iTunes, and you can also stream Ruel's Running Podcast off of Google Play Music. You know, iTunes has the last 100 recent episodes, but you can get everything via the website I link to at ruelsrunning.com. I do appreciate your support for the show, and there's so many ways that support can be made. The quickest way, it doesn't cost much to you if you already shop at Amazon. If you click through the Amazon banner on ruelsrunning.com, or even the Amazon links on the web posts or the show notes, you know, it'll take you through the affiliate link that I use, and somehow, one way or another, you know, your patronage through to Amazon via my affiliate link helps the show out. Also, you know, if you like trucker hats, I have a link on the webpage to some gear, one of which is a trucker hat, which I think is not as bad as I thought it would be. I stuck it out there. It's called the Eat, Fat, and Run, and I set that up, got myself one, and I run with it, and I really, really dig it as something that I run with. So, check out gear over there on the site. There's a donation link or a donation button on the website on the bottom right, where if you donate like $5 through the PayPal link, I'll send you an Eat, Fat, Run bumper sticker, as long as you're within the continental U.S., I guess, because I don't want to send a little sticker off across the world and end up spending more on postage than what the sticker is worth. But that's the best I could do. Appreciate that. And if you know what Patreon is, you can also be a patron to Ruel's Running Podcast. Maybe even the vlog now. Be a patron for the podcast and the vlog. And, just check out patreon.com/RuelsRunning. There's links somewhere all over the site and in the show notes that you can tap into. Awesome, guys. I must go because I need to dial up the next podcast guest. I appreciate you spending time. You guys are great. Remember to eat something delicious, hug your friends, hug your family, and go run something. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Ruel's Running Podcast with Ruel. If you like what you just heard, share it with your friends and your enemies. Also, be sure to check out the site over at ruelsrunning.com. This has been another Coffee with Heavy Cream production. Join us next time for another silly show of Ruel's Running Podcast.